Get really thirsty spilling the tea. Like, I felt really hollowed out. I felt almost like a shell of myself. Grad school did a number on me. Like, you feel kind of like you're under attack. You want me to go back in the lab? I did the whole PhD program on Vibe. So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been an extremely long time since I uploaded a video. I got a degree somewhere in there. I got a job. After a period of unemployment, you know, there was a lot going on, but I'm finally in a place where I can kind of pick it back up and invest more time in it. I kind of thought the perfect place to start would be to share about my PhD defense, because so much of my content has been like sharing my journey as a PhD student, as a woman in STEM, as a first-gen student, and navigating all of that. So when I started the PhD defense, which I don't really know why, but there is only life before grad school and life after grad school, and I'd really like to define my life by other experiences other than my grad school time. Okay, so I defended in March 2023, so that basically meant I had to start prepping by the end of 2022 or like early 2023. So I really started taking my writing seriously in January 2023. So I had already about a third published, or a third like prepped from, you know, writing my proposal and writing all these grant applications, and you know, I had one paper published, so that was already, it kind of made up like the introduction, my first few chapters of my thesis, and that's all I had, which is not a lot. If you think about the 5 years that I had been there in grad school, it's not a lot. And I had a lot of dread about that because I wasn't the type of grad student to be publishing paper after paper after paper. My papers are not necessarily in high impact journals, which if you're in academia, you know, you want to publish a lot and you want to publish in high impact journals. I think I was in such a great place when I started writing. I had a lot of dread because of that, but I wanted out of grad school so badly. I just couldn't handle it anymore. And if you followed me for a while, you know, I was kind of really giving a lot of advice and coaching videos and on how to really enjoy your grad school experience. And maybe for a period of time I did, but those last maybe 2 years or so of grad school, it was like I felt really hollowed out. I felt almost like a shell of myself. I refused to acknowledge it because if I did, I think everything would just crumble. Just kind of push through the writing. And I tried to find pictures of myself during this time, and literally I just find the saddest looking pictures, and I'll share them here because it's the truth. It's my honest truth. So I started writing in January 2023. A lot of like personal things happened where I took it upon myself to start therapy in February 2023. And that's an important milestone here because I think the rest of my experience and the rest of 2023 into 2024 now wouldn't have gone the way that I thought it was gonna go if I hadn't started therapy. So that was also a really like milestone thing that I did while getting this milestone. My writing process, I would basically write from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. after like a god-awful morning workout. I think I was just surviving on caffeine, adrenaline, stress, and I would crash and feel terrible, wake up, do it all over again. I had the backing of my advisor to do this. Like, this was all sanctioned and signed off by her, and but I maybe personally lacked the confidence in my own research, and I can say that now, and I don't really know why, considering it's something I had studied for 5 years, and grad school did a number on me. I personally lacked a lot of confidence when it came to my own thesis, which is not something that you should do. When you walk into the room, you should be the expert. Like, you should know your thesis inside and out and be able to answer any questions, yada, yada, yada. It also didn't help that I probably picked the toughest committee known to man. The toughest committee meaning like I had picked professors that were known to ask really difficult questions. It was my choice, it was my committee. I kind of just thought like whatever, like I can please them, this will challenge me. Turns out I wasn't that up to the challenge. I have my laptop here. It's because I wrote notes. It was all of the prep for my defense. And when the time came, the day of, I had practiced a million times. I actually enjoyed practicing. I enjoyed making the presentation because if there's one thing about me, I'm gonna make a damn good PowerPoint presentation. First point I have here is I remember feeling oddly calm. Yeah, I kind of chalked that up to delusion. I remember feeling oddly calm because I knew whatever was about to happen was not in my control, which that was a very important thing that I had learned over the past few years, but definitely in therapy. I should preface that there was just so much going on in my personal life that focusing on my thesis was maybe a form of escapism. But, you know, my tribe really came, like I said, my sister, my friends from undergrad who surprised me and she came in person, my cousin, my boyfriend, just the people showed up that day. And to receive that amount of love was just everything to me. And I had gotten this really cute pink suit, which I'll put pictures here. And I had put so much effort into what I wanted to wear in my defense, which is really important in my opinion because what you wear makes you confident. And I had these like really cute clips that I got from like some small business. They had like PhD and like engineer and STEM, and everyone was like, oh my god, did you get these specifically? I was like, I don't think you understand. At the end of the day, like I'm just a girl. So I did the damn thing, and honestly the presentation itself went very smoothly, went very fine. Like I said, I had practiced so many times. I answered the questions in the open session pretty well. Like questions from the audience, questions from my classmates. And then came the part that I try to black out, which is the closed session. And let's remember, I picked a tough committee because I don't make the best decisions all the time. I think at this point, looking back on it, I can understand that the professors in my committee were just doing their job and doing the job that I asked them to do. Like, they didn't get to where they are in their career by asking easy questions. And I can say that I wasn't prepared as best as I could be because there were a few of those questions where I was like, you freaking know this, so why are you blanking, you know? And it was really just nerves, a lot of imposter syndrome, that I just like got really in my head about it. It was absolutely terrible. Like you feel kind of like you're under attack, but that's because I wasn't prepared. And again, like I said, they weren't attacking me, they were doing my job, but I can say that now because it's been about a year. I was just really disappointed in myself because like I said before, I'm supposed to be the expert in the room. You don't earn a PhD without being an expert. And I don't think I showed my expertise like I was supposed to. But like I said, my whole defense was sanctioned by my advisor. Like I'm doing this with her blessing. And because I had her blessing, like she pushed me forward. Like I guess she really advocated for me because after I answered all the questions, they just deliberate. By themselves without me in the room, and I just have to wait with sweaty palms, and she pushed me forward and I'm really grateful for it. But some deep dark part of me that I probably need to work on is that I feel like I didn't earn it, which is a really sad feeling to have about such a huge accomplishment. But you know, very heavy on the imposter syndrome. Like I said, grad school did a number on me that I'm just starting to unpack. And what's sad is that I have my PhD framed and everything, but it just kind of sits on the floor, and I think maybe it speaks to how I feel about it that I haven't hung it up. Alright, current Ariana here, and Here's the footage of the degree on the floor. About it. We had the prep, we had the day of, and let's talk about the after. So I had many revisions, to say the least, because my defense wasn't the strongest. We already broke that down. I actually had experiments to do, which you already checked me off, and you want me to go back in the lab? Which makes me sound like a snob, okay? I totally acknowledge. So I had to do more experiments. It's okay if it wasn't in my final thesis. And I was like, whatever. I had a trip planned already too, so I had to just kind of chug it out and get it done, which... Oh, I remember being so mad. So I got all the revisions done. It wasn't fun. I did my experiments, and I'll never forget the day that I realized that the data in my thesis was not right. Had to reanalyze so many things. So to think I was done, and then come back after vacation, mind you, I'm also like job hunting and like interviewing and like things like that. Oh my God, I'm getting a lot of anxiety just really thinking about this. At the end of the day, everything worked out. I still graduated, got to wear my funny little outfit, my family came, and I really enjoyed graduation. I even got a selfie with my advisor. I really enjoyed my graduation. I think that part kind of solidified, like, wow, like I did this thing and no one's ever really done it, and it was a unique thing, and I felt a sense of pride for sure. It's not that I regret going to grad school. Like, I want to acknowledge that it was fully my decision to go down this path. But I think my mistake was maybe when I realized that it wasn't for me and it wasn't something that I was passionate about, is not taking the time to figure out, well, what does an alternative path look like? Because I had only known school, I had only known education. I still kind of only do, but I don't necessarily think that staying in grad school was for me. Maybe the environment, maybe a lot of like personal things that were happening all added to it. What's a little crazy about that statement is I think I had one of the more positive experiences with PhD advisors and university treatment. It wasn't by any means perfect. I am proud of how much education I have received and how much I have pursued, and it was still able to get me like a perfectly decent job that it got me to where I am today, and for that I'm grateful. But I will say, for anyone who's like still in their PhD program or like thinking about the PhD program, I just want you to really think if you're entering this program intentionally, and even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, have an idea, because I did the whole PhD program on vibes and very motivated on making others proud of me. But when it all came down to it, I should have done things that were purely for me. Purely that aligned with what I valued and what I want out of life. Because turns out publishing a lot in high impact papers is maybe not something that I valued. So if you like it here, if you like this channel, I am slowly revving it back up. So please like, subscribe, share. I'd be so appreciative of your support and your love in like opening this back up, because now that I've gone through that, I'm being able to put time into the passion that I really enjoyed like this really means a lot to me. So bye and have a good day or night wherever you are.